See, the problem here is that our synergy maximizer has gotten asynchronous from our flange dongle. How do you fix it? Hit it with a hammer. Alright, Fanmail, Q&A. Lovely. First of all, I'm still not taking commissions. I am getting closer. I have gotten some more tools. I have gotten this place mostly organized. I've got a few last things to finish up, and then I will, hopefully, start taking commissions again. We shall see. I have finally acquired a 3D printer. That's not entirely accurate. I set forth to acquire a 3D printer. The plan ended up going sideways, and I now have 4 3D printers. Not entirely sure how that happened. Alright, on to the questions. Barbro Studios. Can you easily make a Battle Scout mag-fed? No, not easily. Could you? Yes. But the reason it's not going to be easy is because the Battle Scout does not have a bolt sled. It doesn't have a breech that slides around the darts that are in the magazine. The clip is the breech. Each barrel in the clip is the entire breech assembly. So it's more akin to a revolver. It'd be like trying to make a hammer shot or a strong arm magazine fed. They're just not designed for it. You could, but you would need to create a bolt action breech of some kind, or a bolt assembly of some kind. So if you did something like my the deploy magazine well thing that I did for my Mazooka, you could use that and do something similar on a Battle Scout. So you had a breech that you pulled open and then slid back to close around the magazine. That would be the easiest way. Lieutenant Felix, Captain, have you put the Kyber crystal I gave you into Ire yet? I have not. I have yet to do the upgrades that I was hoping to do to Ire. There's just been so many other things. But the next time that I get her open, and I'm planning to probably do some modifications on the wiring, because I am tempted to actually try to put her on LiPo. And when I have her open, I will put the Kyber crystal in. QJ500, will there be a replacement for Ire in the near future? No. The minigun that recently came out was not intended to be a replacement for Ire in any sense. Ire is for hunting zombies, which, when we do the week-long games, there's a lot of hunting of zombies. The minigun was designed for last stand type scenarios, where you need a lot of firepower for a long time. But it's not something I'd want to run around campus with, because you're never going to get into the ammo back, because it just rolls away. But if you're doing a last stand and you're going to be roughly in the same location the whole time, it makes it a lot easier to then gather up the ammo. So, no, Ire is not going to be replaced. I'm just building other options for other situations. Caleb Carter, could you attach a string somehow to a hammer on a hammer shot and back prime them the way people do for dual wielding Mavericks, but you bend your wrist as you pull the string? That might work. I mean, it's going to be a matter of where do you attach it so that it gets that downward leverage, and possibly twisting your wrist would do that. The question is whether you're going to get enough movement in your wrist to get it to prime all the way back. And I don't know if you would. Maybe if you augmented it so that the string went through some kind of a bracelet and then went up to your forearm, so you twisted it and pushed forward, then you might get enough travel on it. It's definitely worth trying. Let me know if you can get it to work. Jace and Marco, do you have any projects that you didn't finish? Yeah, we never did finish the Lancer build. The curator ended up taking it home so that he could work on it. I just never had time. And that was one that I really would have liked to have finished that, gotten a Stampede stuffed in there, just because it would be such a beautiful cosmetic build. Some random Nerf guy. What Springer can you put a strife into? Well, I agree with 6th gate base. All of them with enough epoxy. But which one should you put it into? I don't know why you'd want to, honestly. As much as I love the Stampede, a flywheel Stampede would be pretty sweet looking. I could see somebody... I know I've heard of at least one person putting it into a deploy and making it sneaky sleeper deploy. That would be a fun one to do. Voidwalker! Should I put a bayonet on my rival musket? Or not, for safety? It depends on how you're making the bayonet. I mean, if you're making it an actual bayonet, good lord, no. If you're just making something out of foam, then yeah, I mean, you could put the Nerf bayonet on. It's kind of short for a musket bayonet. You could also just make one out of craft foam or EVA foam. That would be safe enough to use. You could also use one of the Nerf swords. That's kind of a musket-style bayonet shape, more so anyway. Cut one of those short and put a socket on it so that you could attach it as a socket bayonet. That would be perfectly safe. It's going to depend on the rules of wherever you're planning on using this. Whether they're going to allow melee or bayonets or whether they think your design is safe. So I'd talk to whoever you're planning to play with it around. Travis Shee. Have you seen the glider, flying, plane stomp rocket types? I think it would be really cool to tag someone out with a launched glider across the field. What are your thoughts? I actually love the idea of long-range indirect Nerf artillery. The place where we play it isn't really an option. There's too much tree cover. But if you're playing somewhere that had a lot of open field area, I think it would actually be really, really cool. I have an idea for a game format that involves creating an enormous grid on the battlefield, either using rope or grass paint or chalk paint, whatever, and then having artillery that is shelling the play field. And if the round lands in the square that you're in, then you're dead, and you just have to have referees calling, no, this square's dead, that square's dead, this square's dead. And then you could have two artillery teams, either mortars or bazookas or demolishers or whatever you're using, shelling the playfield while people are trying to complete objectives whilst being shelled. I think that would be a lot of fun. Mustachio Pistachio, what is the maximum spring load that you could put in a dual strike? I haven't the foggiest idea. I put K26 in mine and it works magnificently. I couldn't tell you what the draw weight is on it off the top of my head. I probably should know, but I don't. I would watch some of the other videos. I know Tiger Foam did one, and I know there's at least a couple other Nerfers that have done just ridiculously high-powered ones. They singled them or they used them, for shotgun pistols or whatever. So I would check out one of those various channels. James Slutel. What blaster would you recommend for a left-handed person that has limited function with the right hand? Any of the electronic blasters are going to work fairly well as long as you can change out magazines. It is actually possible to reload like at least a strife one-handed, just by you drop your current mag and you can actually lock it down onto the mag in a mag clip, in a mag holder, in a mag pouch on your vest, and just pull it out that way. You don't even need your right hand. Any of the hammer primed blasters would also work well because they can be used one-handed, which is why I recommend the flywheel blasters, because once again they're fairly easily to use one-handed. Like the Lawbringer has a high capacity for a hammer primed blaster. Possibly a mag strike if you can manage the pump. That has a very high rate of fire. So, I mean, yeah. Snapfire 8, possibly, or the Voidcaster. Those ones also are one-handed. So, yeah, look for ones that obviously can either be used one-handed or don't require a lot of use of the other hand. So, magazine-fed flywheel blasters or hammer prime blasters. Everybody all right? No injuries? All right, back to the questions. Rift the Wolf. I'm happy that you like the art. Do you like furries? Well, if you've seen my sister Leora's channel, Ravenous Tigress, she's a furry of sorts, and my youngest sister also identifies as a furry, so yes. And any ideas on making Crusader armor? Well, if you're referring to armor worn by the European Crusaders during the, first millennia, give or take, they were mostly chainmail, so it's just a matter of making lots and lots of rings and weaving lots and lots of rings. The helmets were also fairly simple. They did have great helms, but they also used a lot of just regular Norman-style helms or kettle helms. So arming caps, that kind of thing. It is fairly simple. If you get into the Middle Eastern armor, they had actually somewhat more complicated armor at the time with a lot of lamellar and loricas and that sort of thing. But just Crusaders themselves wore primarily chainmail, so it's just lots and lots and lots of rings. The Dead Plays. How would you modify a Vulcan, and what would you use as a stock? I actually have I have a number of modified Vulcans. I put a long strike stock on one of them, but I didn't alter the handle at all. I really, really like Lance Alderson's Vulcan, his flywheel Vulcan that is featured on Walcom's channel as, I believe it's called the Deplorable. And I really want to build one of those. Ricky Rumblow. Do you think it would be possible to make a Boomco gun shoot a Nerf gun? Yep. What a strange question. Jedi Leader 01. Do you plan to do a Mandalorian Nerf armor loadout? I wouldn't say I plan to. I would love to. But I don't have a good enough reason to at this point. I definitely want to have Mandalorian armor someday, but it's nowhere near the top of the list. Tyler McLean. What would you recommend for a first strife mod? Ooh, well, it really kind of depends on your tools, your skills, your game style, your play style. The easiest thing is obviously to just put 2 trust fires and 2 dummy batteries in. That'll give you a boost. Not a huge boost, but enough that it's noticeable and it's not going to burn anything out. IMRs, of course, are the better option. After that, you're going to want to rewire, put new motors in, and run it on better batteries. And the batteries are going to depend on the motors, or the motors are going to depend on the batteries. It really, you got to make the two match. But the Strife is a really fairly simple modification. The other easy thing you can start with is lock removal. A lot of people like to take the locks out. And in a flywheel blaster, most of the locks aren't really necessary. The jam door, it isn't so well. It's both a lock and the electric brake. So if you take that out, yeah, you don't have to worry about the jam door getting bumped open and your blaster not firing. But you also don't have the electric brake kick in if you do have a jam and you have to reach in there and all that. So look them up. There's lots and lots and lots of options out there. But starting simple, rewire and new motors. After that, you can look into flywheels, you can look into cages, you can look into, all of that. But you're going to need to know how to solder, and you're going to need to have at least a basic understanding of electrics. So, depends on what you know. New Silk. What are your opinions on spy movies, and what do you think of the Kingsman series? I like them. I like things like James Bond and The Bourne Identity and those things where they're either really smart or have lots of gizmos. I like gizmos. Kingsman has gizmos, so I liked Kingsman. I liked the Colin Firth character a lot more than the main character because I'm not 12. I would probably have enjoyed his character more if I was closer to his age, which is, of course, what the target demographic was. But I haven't seen the second one. Don't really have any great urge to. If it shows up on Netflix, I'll probably watch it. Wiggler Sauce. What do you think about the clickbait Nerf channels? They are incredibly lucrative and entertaining, and that's their point. My channel, I wanted to be primarily originally about modding, about giving advice, about showing off the mods I've done, about getting other people interested in modding and getting ideas from lots of people. That's one of the real reasons I love having a channel, is all of the great ideas I get. But the channels that are designed purely to entertain and to make money, that's what they do. And they're fantastic. And while I don't think I would ever really enjoy running a channel specifically for that, I am looking to do more entertaining things and more silly things and more weird and interesting videos, in addition to all of the modding videos that I do. I definitely want to do more war footage, and I want to do, weird loadouts and all of that kind of thing. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot I can learn from those, especially in the area of cinematography and video editing and all of that. So, yeah, they're good. They're fun. Stormtrooper1138. Captain, do you like Bon Jovi, Kiss, and AC/DC? Yes. Yes, I do. Locoman6506. Hey, Cap, do you know where I can find sledgefire shells? Unfortunately, not yet. Well, kind of. Nerf used to sell them in a 3-pack for $5, and I wish I'd dropped another 40 or 50 bucks on and gotten more, because I don't have very many anymore. I used a lot of them for various builds, and I wish I had more. I have heard that they are currently available on Taobao, which means they will probably soon be available through Banggood or Lytake or NF Strike or any of the wholesalers. I'm hoping. If I see Sledgefire shells show up on either of those, I will let you guys know. Ben Foltran. Do you think a Rapidfire 20 would make a good shoulder-mounted blaster, and if so, would you want to make one? No, I don't think it would. The big issue would be pumping it up and firing it, because it's not electric. You would need to make it electric for it to be a good shoulder prime blaster. So you'd need a motorized compressor, which would work, and then you'd need an electric firing mechanism, which you'd need a solenoid, probably, or some kind of a stepper motor that was capable of actually pulling that trigger back. And there are better ways to go about it. I mean, a swarm fire will give you the same amount of firepower, not quite the same rate of fire, but it holds 20, and it's all electric, and one switch electric, so we just have to push one button and it fires. So that is what I would use if I were going to try to make something similar to that. You definitely could put a solenoid in, put an electronic pump in, and it would have a great rate of fire, especially if you could increase the pressure in the tank. So, alright. I was hoping for 2 in one day. Alright, let's get on to the Boodle, for there is much swag. Alright, well, I have a number of letters and a number of packages and just all manner of really cool stuff. So, we're going to start with the letters. Dear Captain Xavier, greetings from Huntington, West Virginia. Hope this finds you in good health. Enclosed you will find the patch I mentioned in a recent post on your YouTube in the comment section. A Warhammer Space Marine Sergeant Badge. Hope you enjoy. Oh, that is amazing. The detail is incredible. That is going on my gear somewhere. I don't know where, but that is definitely going on my gear. I mean, it really should be on a shoulder. It looks like it's iron-on. I will probably make it... I'll have to make it Velcro on, just because that generally works better with my gear. That is gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Yes, 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 sir. I will, yes. That is awesome. You, sir, are awesome. And I will let all of my bunker mates know that you, sir, are awesome. Alright, next letter. Dear Captain Xavier, hello, it is I, Shadow Night Raven. Once again, I watched your New Year's video and had a couple of thoughts. The first one is for you, for your youth wars. Is it possible to rent a building, fill it with foam-made castles, red versus blue, and make foam fortifications? I think it would be great for rainy days. Your thoughts on this idea, and if you can even afford it. I know you are an employee of Dell now, so it isn't... So if it isn't possible, I understand. Yeah, I mean, if you had the funds, that was definitely something you could do, rent a building. Building foam castles, of course, is a little bit more complicated. One thing I've hoped to try to get to in charge of, or in contact with, would be some kind of an after-school program that has a gymnasium, and possibly the foam mats for the stuff that they do in gymnasiums, that you could then build fortifications using the foam mats. But I haven't had any luck with that yet. My second thought was this. If you could find the file, would you make a flintlock pistol, a Brown Bess, or a Kentucky long rifle, a flintlock shotgun on a 3D printer to make a pirate or revolution cosplay? Yeah, if somebody actually had files for those, I would probably happily print them, as I do now have more printers than I know what to do with. Your faithful subscriber and fan, Shadow Night Raven. More on back. P.S. I like that you help give young kids something to do. My highest praise to you, my good sir. It helps them stay out of trouble. Yeah, give them a hobby that costs money and they'll never have money for drugs. Have you ever thought of using Warbler? I know crafters such as on me do I... Things... Yes, I have been wanting to get into Warbler, both for costuming stuff as well as for making holsters, because it would be quite easily to make molded holsters. You can also use, I think it's called Kydex, is a similar material, but a little bit more durable, I think. So yeah, that is something that is, once again, on the list, but it is a really long list anymore. How long are you going to grow out that beard? Are you trying to emulate Kris Kringle? His is, well, mine does have white in it now. I grow it out during the winter because it's cold and I like having a built-in scarf. When summer comes and it starts getting warm, it will get trimmed because I can't take the heat. I much prefer to be cold than to be too hot, so it will definitely get trimmed. The hair will get cut, especially under that mask. Not fun to have sweat dripping down into your beard. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that the funniest thing I saw you do was belly dance on the Fanmail Friday with your sister, the Ravenous Tigress. I literally fell out of my chair laughing my butt off. And when are you going to have Walcom 7 over for a Fanmail Friday and Q&A? Shadow Night Raven. That I should go see Walcom and do a Q&A with him one of these days. I have 3 different packages from 3 different people for him, so I will have to get a hold of him and see when he would be available or if he would be interested in that. So, thank you for the letter. Very good stuff. All right, let's take a look at packages. We're going to start with this little one from Southern Maryland House of Nerf. What do we got? What do we got? Looks like we've got... Oh, that's something else. Okay. Oh, jeez. It never ends. Southern Maryland House of Nerf, Southern Maryland House of Nerf, a family-friendly Nerf group with battles monthly, March through October, free to play, free loaner blasters. Southern Maryland House of Nerf. I've seen that symbol before. So, if you're in the Maryland area, here is all of their contact information. I don't know if you can see it. Southern Maryland House of Nerf at Facebook. All right. Hello, Captain Xavier's. Greeting from Southern Maryland House of Nerf. We are a group in, that's right, you guessed it, Southern Maryland. We are writing to tell you that we are big fans of yours and everything you are doing for the Nerf community, especially when you share Nerf with new people and show them how great it can be. We've included 5 of our brand new patches and would be honored if you would rock one somewhere on your gear. Please give one each to Walcom Out of Darts because they are awesome too and don't seem to have a fan mail address that we can find. We didn't look too very hard. Please give the remaining 2 patches to some well-deserved Nerfers or whoever you see fit. We would be extremely grateful if you would use the business card we've included to give us a shout-out in a Fan Mail Friday video and go like our Facebook page. Thanks so much, and keep being awesome, and know that if you are ever in the area, you'll always have a place to hang your blaster. Sincerely, the Southern Maryland House of Nerf, D. Steph, Ben, Janet, and Rodney. You folks are indeed awesome. Thanks again. Check that out. Aren't they some awesome looking individuals? Love the chainmail on that mask. That is really, really cool. And the scale on that shoulder. Yes, I approve. Alright, let's take a look at these patches. Oh. Check those out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's going on my gear. Where can I put that? There it is, right on the back of my primary plate carrier, right next to my foam blast patch. That is fantastic. That is, I love the colors. Thank you so much for that. I will make sure to get the other ones to the places they need to go. I'll put one with Walcom Stash, and I've got a box going down to Out of Darts, so I'll toss that one in there, and I will figure out who to give the other 2 to. You folks are awesome. Oh, that picture is fabulous. Where am I going to put that? Ooh. I have the coolest fans. All right, on to packages. What do we got? We have Microshot blasters. I think I might have actually ordered these myself, but I apparently sent them to my P.O. box instead of my home address. which is weird. Anyway, they've been reviewed many times before, but I think they're cool. I bought the ones that were, of course, in my colors. This is the one I really don't understand because it's an emulation of another single-shot blaster. But it's an iconic one because it was early N-Strike Elite. And then, of course, we have the Hammershot, which is the one I really wanted. Because zombies. You know how I feel about zombies. I do love killing me some zombies. That is lovely. And silly and magnificent. Yeah. I will have to figure out how to fit this into my HVZ loadout as my Suicide Jolt, because it just needs to be. I do see what people said about, they don't come apart. They are not screwed together. They appear to be glued. You might be able to boil them open, but probably not, which means they're not going to be very modifiable. Which doesn't bother me as far as a Suicide Jolt goes, because the Suicide Jolt is for you. And I wouldn't want to shoot myself in the head at point-blank range with a modified Jolt. That would be unpleasant. So, yeah, I'll have to figure out how to get this. It definitely won't fit in my current holster, so I'll have to rig up a new holster. So, stay tuned for those. Those are just silly and fantastic. And you know I like silly and fantastic things. Alright, up next, we have some items that were sent to me by my good friend Andrew, who is the man who provides me with all of my catch springs. He also occasionally sends me all manner of Milwaukee swag. He sent me my cordless drill and my wire strippers and my best measuring tape. Oh yeah, I did not realize they were different lengths. And he sent me more stuff. He sent me a 35-foot measuring tape, a 25-foot measuring tape, and these are fantastic because they actually have magnets that allow you to hook them on things. They've got different units of measurement. They've got just... they're really, really cool. And now I have a 25 and a 35. I already have one. I don't remember what length it is. So I will probably end up giving one of these to one of my friends. He also sent me, and this is the cool one, a full impact duty drill bit set and screwdriver bit set, which is just absolutely fantastic. And they're the quick release kind, so they'll work really, really well with my Nerf stuff because I have to switch back and forth between things so often. So those are absolutely amazing and awesome and will be getting used. And finally, he sent me this thing. I'm not even entirely sure what it is. A tool bag? A laptop bag? I think he said it was basically an absurdly heavy-duty laptop bag. Oh. Also definitely designed for tools. Look at all those tool pouches. That is glorious. And the big one. You could put a laptop in there, but I think it is more intended as a tool bag. Looking at the, once again, ridiculous amounts of patches, but there is a large open spot in there. It's a rain fly? It has a rain fly that deploys from the back. That's really cool. Never seen any kind of a case that had a built-in raincoat before. So that's neat. Oh! Ah, that I think is actually the laptop portion. The back pouch there is what looks more like a laptop bag. It's padded and is about the right size for your standard laptop. So, that is an amazing bag. I don't know what I will do with it. Maybe it'll become my carry-on bag for when I travel in an airplane. Because you could fit all sorts of stuff in that. Awesome stuff. Maybe I'll actually just use it as my traveling toolbox. Because the one I currently have is actually a little bit too small. So, that is awesome. Andrew, you are awesome. I will get your Demolisher finished. I almost have it rewired and sent back to you. So, yes. Alright, next up, we have a package from Liza Hole. Liza Hole? I do not know how to pronounce your name, and I apologize. Aha! Buttering up and praise. Dear Captain Xavier, first of all, I would like to thank you for getting me into modding Nerf guns. I have been interested, but had never taken the first step, and then one day I saw Walcomm's video about the shoulder cannons. I was hooked. Then I found your channel and saw the Kanateki K26. I then promptly ordered some and began modding things left and right. You never cease to amaze all the glorious modular things. When your unique builds, such as Ire and the absolute madness that is the rival minigun, it is refreshing to see something new in the Nerf community, and not just Strife mod with Artifact Worker, whatever, number 87. Every one of your videos, even the end of the year news blathering, is entertaining. You seriously don't give yourself enough credit. Keep on doing what you're doing, you bearded madman. Sincerely, Greg. What have I been... Oh, jeez. Pertaining to the package. In this package, there should be one mildly mutilated gear-up Maverick that you could take the priming handle from to create a perfect one, one pack of Skittles for your incurable addiction, one beefy spring, and a somewhat beat-up altimeter missile. Hopefully you can use it. Miscellaneous questions. What size of drill bit do you use to bore out the barrels for 1730 seconds brass? I use 1730 seconds. Inch drill bit, and then I bore it out a little bit farther using a circular file, a round file, to get it all the way the right size. What motors should I use for a Strife that won't be running on LiPo? Most likely it'll be IMRs. You can actually run any of the motors that you run on LiPo on IMRs as well. It just generally doesn't work as well because IMRs weren't generally designed for that much draw, but you can run Rhinos. I've seen Rhinos are definitely designed for it. Most of the worker kit, actually, they specifically intended it for IMRs, apparently. They actually sell a 4-pack of IMRs specifically for the Sledgefire kit and the worker metal cage upgrade kit. So that one, you can get that at Litech. I think you can also get it at Banggood and NF Strike. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend. Can your beard get any more magnificent? It can, but it probably won't get the opportunity to because it's starting to get warmer here, and once it gets warm, it's getting shaved. I don't know if you've ever seen it with the war braids in, though. That's when it's at its most magnificent, with the K26. Yeah. Any advice on making a sealed breech? Yeah. Be careful. Go slow. The worst thing that you might end up doing is if you bend the brass, you're never going to get it back into the right shape again. And so what I did when I created the one for my deploy brass breech magazine fed thing is I first cut the PVC that the brass was going to go inside. Cut that out first, then put the brass in and glued it in, and then carefully used a Dremel to cut out the brass. So the brass was already fully supported by the PVC, and there was no risk of it getting tweaked or torqued or bent. So that would be my recommendation. And may your home always be warm, your beard always be long, and your Skittles always unspoiled by rats. Well, the beard will not always be long, and the Skittles will be going directly into the Death Star where they are safe from the rats, and the rats have met their end. So, yes. I'm going to start with the Skittles right now. Now. Alright, let's take a look. So, he has sent me a Gear Up Maverick. It's led a rough life. Poor thing. Fortunately, it's going to become a display piece. So, I may just leave it as is. Put this one on the wall with the rest of them and use my other one to then modify and actually use in combat. So, thank you so much for this, because mine, as you noted, somebody at some point had swapped out the priming handle. Perfect. The broken part is the part that is being blocked by the wall, so yeah, that's just going to go up there, and this one will go back on my wall of personal blasters. One beefy spring. Holy... Yeah, you weren't kidding. I wonder what I can put that in that isn't going to shatter. And an altimeter rocket. Wow, yeah, these things are harder to find than Titan rockets. It is a bit warped. Yeah, the only altimeter I've seen in the wild went to Walcom. He was having a really rough day, and so when we found it, it went to him, and I don't know what he's going to do with it. I think they're definitely a different bore than Titans. So I will have to come up with something. I either need to finally get my hands on an altimeter or custom make a barrel for Ire so Ire can fire altimeter rockets, just because Ire can't yet. I mean, that's obviously going to have to happen. I think I'm due for an addendum video anyway, so look forward to that. All right, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. So many cool things. Skittles. Yum. Alright, and last but not least, we have these. And I know what they are, and it amuses me. What we have here is rival ammunition. To Captain Xavier, thank you for continuing to inspire my Nerf passion. May these always strike true. Alex Cook, fellow Nerf minigun maniac. That is fantastic. He has sent me 5 packs of headshot ammo from Out of Darts. Glorious. And we have another one. Ho ho. A gift for you to enjoy from Christopher Liu. I don't know. Terrible with names. He has sent me 4 packs of the orange. So that should now actually get me up to the full 2,000, which is what my tank supposedly can hold. For those of you who are wondering what this is all about, of course, in my minigun video, I mentioned that if any of you have ever wondered how you can support my channel, go to Out of Darts' Etsy page and send me some rival rounds, because I'm going to need it. That minigun is going to go through ammo like nobody's other. A lot of people seem to think that what I meant by that was that I didn't intend to pick up any of the ammo. I have every intention of picking up every single round I can possibly find, but anybody who has ever used Rival knows that if you shot 10 Rival rounds into a completely empty room, you'd only get 7 of them back. They just disappear and evaporate because they roll away. And you take them to wars and people don't give them back. They pick them up and they take them and they end up in their guns and then they leave with them and stuff like that. And that thing is going to go through so much ammo. So, and if I want to go to places like NVZ or WVZ, and if I want to go to End War or any of the big games, even if I try to pick up every possible round I can, I'm not going to get all of my ammo back. And so, yeah, sending me rival ammo is a huge way that you can support me and make sure that I can always keep using that thing. I will, of course, be buying ammo from Out of Darts as well. I've already bought 1,600 rounds from him, and I will be buying at least as many more, just because I do feel that I should at least buy one whole loadout's worth myself. And then if you guys feel like you want to support me and possibly someday get shot by ammo you bought for me, that would be awesome. So, yeah, Out of Darts, he's got it. He's got all the colors. I like orange for Nerf Wars and green for HVZ, so that's why those 2 colors in particular. But also feel free to just send me a letter. I really like getting the handwritten, the personal letters. And patches. Oh, yes. Do feel free to send me patches. Now that I've said that, I'll probably end up looking like a NASCAR driver just festooned in patches, and I will run with it. I will add Velcro areas to my loadouts just so I can add more patches. That, I think, would look hilarious and fantastic. So, that's another thing you could definitely do if you want, you know, to make me smile. Thank you so much for all of this stuff. There's so much good stuff here. I mean, altimeter rockets. I think the only person I've ever seen with an altimeter rocket since Kyle shot that guy in the chest with one I think the Curator has one, and I think Lance got his hands on one. I don't know that Walcom has one, so yeah, those are hard to come by. And Gear Up, anything Gear Up I'm going to love, because it's in my colors. And Skittles, and stuff, and tools, and patches. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all of this. If you want to have your question answered, put it in the comments of this video. I'm now doing Q&A every other week, so that I have more time for builds and for Storytime with Captain Xavier and all that other stuff. Storytime with Captain Xavier is over on my Lego channel, Captain Xavier's Lego channel. Not hard to find. So yeah, we have finished the U of I HVZ, and we're going to be getting into the WSU HVZ, and that's where the really cool stuff started happening. So go take a look at that. I also just build Lego sets over there and show off my castle and all that stuff. So enough blathering out of me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, suggestions, put them in the comment section. And thank you guys for watching.